This is the news. We are Whiskey Hell. I'm Steve McShane. I'm here with Fitz. How you doing, Fitz?
I am alive.
That was very
And that's
exciting.
that's about all I got. That's about all I got right now. I think it's gonna get better, as I get a beer in me. But right now I'm kicking, and that's more than most of humanity.
I think a lot of people are. That's all we can muster is kicking. I think that's just how it is right now, and that sucks because nobody should ever feel like that's what's all that's going on.
Yeah, remember the I'm not gonna say it was a complete bag of lies, but you remember the bag of bullshit that we were sold as kids that you can grow up and be anything you want to be.
Right.
Which how many people did that happen to? How many people are football players, astronauts, archaeologists, firemen, policemen? I mean, not enough. Secondly, that you know, life's gonna be great. You're gonna find somebody, you're gonna be happy, and you're gonna sail off into the sunset. And I know that was never directly said, but that's what's implied, right? The American dream. And then you wake up one day, dude, and it's not what it is. It's this constant grind and fight and dirty fight too, like mud and the blood and the beer kind of a fight. And you just and then you wake up and you got to do it all over again tomorrow. And I'm not. This is not. I promise. This is the last thing I'll say about it. This is not how the show's going to go. But I just had one of those days, one of those weeks where it was just such a fucking grind. And I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we're here at the show. But damn, man, how much longer do we have to do this?
Good God, I have no idea. I
Years? I think it's years.
I think we have to look at it from the year standpoint. Yeah, I don't know. We I still I'm still hoping that we get to the day where we're all retired and just you, me, and Hefe, we're all sitting on a porch watching the hot mommies taking their kids to school. We're sitting there. It's like 7 a.m. We already have a bottle of vodka by us, and it's good times. That's what I would love to see us get to. Not to be a pig, but it's
No,
retirement.
I
We should
know.
be in that.
But even that's fucking 20 years away, dude. I don't know. I don't know. 15 years away, I guess, really, if we take early retirement. Anyway, how are you, man? What's we have a thick doc to get to tonight, and I feel like we're not going to get to any of it. I mean, we're going to get to some of it, but a lot happened this week, dude. What happened? It's like it's just when we think things are calming down a bit. Nope.
No, it's not. We had a reprieve like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
where there really
Yeah.
wasn't much there. We had like it was like a struggle to find anything.
Right.
Um, but no, this week it's just been jammed. It's jam packed, and it's like everything you find is just so ridiculous, or it's the narrative changes, all of these things that we're seeing, a lot of stuff that's coming out just out of the blue. Alex Jones offering to blow his brains out if Bill Gates does it first.
I
Okay,
loved your response to that. Like, yes, please, for both of you.
yeah, can we make this happen? I'm totally down
Yeah.
with that.
God.
We've got a psycho foreman for the grand jury in Georgia. That's
Yeah.
that was trying to bring that's trying to bring indictment charges to Trump. She's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh,
She's
she's
all over the
nuts.
news. And it's like a poster child for CNN and MSNBC. Absolutely fascinating. You've
Oh,
got
it's amazing. And was she a ex of Sam Bankman-Fried?
you right,
That's what she looks like
right.
to me. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Or the cop that banged the other cops while on duty.
Oh, yes.
The cops that ran a train on her. That's who
Right.
she looks like. She's like they're all related, and I think they're all actually related to Greta.
Yes. Yes. They're all step cousins, I think, or not even step. I just think they're cousins.
They might be. They very well could be. We've got a weird environmental scientist plane that was suddenly crashed on its way to Ohio. Didn't see that one coming.
No, I did not have
Um,
that on my bingo card.
no, and we're just, I mean, this is just a small sampling of the things that we may get into. John Fetterman went into, what was it?
Well,
What's
he
the,
checked himself into mental health
right, but it
because
was,
he's
John,
depressed. But then
yeah,
his wife is off taking the kids
she left
on
the
a
country.
vacation. Yeah, yeah, and I'm with you, man. I want to know who she's banging because it's
That's
him. I mean, everybody knows when you have a stroke, the first thing that doesn't work is your dick.
right.
Everyone
Right.
knows that. I
And
mean, that's how you. That's like one of the warning signs of a stroke is your dick goes numb. I'm pretty sure. I'm not. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I think that's it.
so, all right. Usually my dick goes numb because of other things, but
We really shouldn't be joking about that, but god damn it, he's such an easy. I cannot believe I still am trying to understand what possessed the people of the great state of Pennsylvania to vote for him.
oh,
I mean,
I
was it
couldn't
one
tell
of
you.
those like lesser of two evil kind of things? Because I don't even remember who he was running against, but
Oh, it's Dr. Oz.
oh, that's right, it was Oz. I don't know. Maybe maybe Fetterman is the better choice. Oh God.
Well,
Yeah,
and it's not going to
that's the
be it
go ahead.
it's not going to be a that I mean we do have some light stuff to talk about. We want to talk about a sexually attracted balloon guy. CNN posted a fantastic article on a Chinese kissing device, which is
Yeah.
creepy as fuck. And I want to get into two Twitter trends that I'm absolutely fascinated by. We'll get into not Twitter trends. I'm sorry, TikTok trends.
Uh-huh.
So we got a lot to talk about. We should get on to our beers.
Let's do it. Well, I'm gonna jump in, since I usually do the first beer.
Yep.
So I'm finishing off my Bend cider series. This is the third week in a row. This is the third new cider that I have never had before. This is the Huckleberry Ginger. So we got a little bit of huckleberry in there. Um, and no, this is not Val Kilmer from Tombstone Huckleberry. This is actual huckleberries and ginger. And I'll tell you, I had a sip a second ago while we were just kind of shooting the shit. Very heavy on the ginger. Let me take another go. Yeah. It's sweet. And you know what this tastes like? This is like candied ginger. Have you ever had candied ginger?
Yes. Yes. Actually, I
That's
actually enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, I do too. I love it. It's that's what this is. It's liquid candied ginger. Um, very, very good. Um, not too sweet. Maybe a little heavy on the ginger side, but I'm with you. I like the taste of ginger. So, this is one of those though I can kind of tell. It if you're prone to like acid reflux, this is not one that you should have. It's very acidic. You know, this one's gonna kind of you're gonna be burping this up a little bit later. So, but it's
Ouch.
very good. Very very well done. Once again, hats off to Bend Cider. They're killing it over there. I need to get over to Bend again and just go sit in their tap house and partake. But good stuff.
So I'm having a beer from Unsung Brewing, and I'm trying to find it online right now, and I'm not. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Cool little company. They're very much a superhero based brewery.
Yeah, like comic book stuff.
Yeah, they're totally all about that. And it's they're actually out of Anaheim. So, but the beer that I'm having is Saint Martin German style lager, Cyborg Mage.
Hmm.
I'll send you a picture of it because it actually is really cool. Marta came of age during the Great Plague in the rural fringes of the post-EU Bavarian Republic. Disease swept across the land like an invisible wildfire, and doctors were scarce. Marta tended to the sick and compassion. Sorry, I'm sorry. Tended to the sick with compassion, using the herbal remedies of her grandmother. Trekking through the forest one night, she found an old man dying in the snow. She tore her cloak to wrap him and felt a coursing energy rip through her fingers. as an orb of green light enveloped them. The regenerative power she had always felt within her soul was finally unleashed. So they've got a little bit of a story, kind of like what Clown Shoes does. So I thought that was
Yeah,
pretty
I love
neat.
that. No, I love that. I love it when beer companies they either have someone on staff who's creative and they like to tell stories, or they hire somebody to write this stuff. And sometimes, I mean, yeah, can it be cheesy? Absolutely, but
Oh, totally.
also, I mean, why not give yourself something to read before you get a buzz on? So
Yeah, and
good
and it's
stuff.
okay to have a little bit of shtick, right? I mean,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
so I am going light. This is a 4.8, just a pilsner. Or well, I mean, it's a German style lager, so it's an old school lager.
Yeah,
But just we don't always do the dark stuff like Fitz. You're doing ciders the last three shows, which was an awesome series. I try to switch it up a little bit too. So this is let's see how this one goes. Clean, crisp,
summer beer.
very much so.
Yeah, yeah,
This is totally a get dirty in the yard, go in and have a nice cold beer. That's
yeah.
exactly what this is.
Awesome.
Way better. I mean, you gotta compare it to like the Anheuser Busches and the Bud Lights and all that kind of stuff, just because the styles kind of match.
Yeah,
I would,
but this is way better, I'm sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's so much more going on to it. So a little bit of sweet. You definitely get some malt to it. Just a clean beer. It's just a good drinking beer. That's all it is.
Love it.
I will
Love
take
it. Yeah. And I don't think I mentioned the ABV on mine. Mine's a 6.7, which is respectable for a cider.
Oh, it totally
Um,
is.
but still kind of I'm with you. I'm kind of going light. It was today was not a day that I should be, drinking anything heavy. So light it is. And we're gonna hit the news now because god damn it, it deserves to be hit right in the face. Actually, no, we're
Um,
not gonna hit the news. Let's do some housekeeping first, right?
well, let's go to break real quick. We'll get
Oh
into
yeah.
housekeeping, then we'll dive into the news because I think we're gonna have a Hefe sighting here soon too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, so we did have a lot of housekeeping. In fact, this is probably going to be the most fun part of the show, quite honestly, because it's not news, totally news based, and it's really all about friends of the show. Because we got some
Yeah.
great feedback this week.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
We threw a couple of polls out. Let's go to the polls first, just real quick. I was feeling it on Wednesday, so I decided to go ahead and throw out a poll question that was really based on: has the world always been this fucked, or are we just more aware? Um, so the question or the answers were: it's newly fucked, or it always has been. 67.2% of our listeners, friends of the show, felt it's always been this fucked.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with that. I really, really do. I would love to say that no, it's just suddenly things have gotten really awful, but we're way more aware of it now. You've got too many things that you've got social media, you've got left side, right side, everybody's making videos, everybody's throwing out bad stuff. There's hardly ever any good stuff. And you just really see how the sausage is actually made. I think it's compounded, right, because of technology a bit, but
Yeah.
it's really, really, yeah, it's always been this way. Human
Yeah,
beings
and
suck.
I mean, the only caveat to that is I will say, because I answered it that it's always been this fucked.
Yep.
Because we've always had bad actors kind of behind the scenes, doing naughty shit. Um, I will say though that for our whole lives, not a focal point, but something that's sort of just been buzzing in the background has always been World War III with Russia. It's always just kind of been this thing. We did drills, how to hide under your desks and stuff for nuclear fallout or nuclear blast. I knew what iodine tablets were when I was like 7. So it's always kind of been hovering back there. But then in the late 80s, the Berlin Wall fell down or came down. It didn't just fall; they brought it down. uh, our diplomatic ties started to warm a bit. The Cold War thawed out, and you just for a while you just thought, all right, we have quote unquote Islamic terrorism, which what a brilliant ploy that was for a war, because I mean it's like an unknown, unseen enemy. You just constantly can be at war. But now, in the last year, it's back on the table. World War III is back on the table, and really in a pretty serious way. It is no exaggeration to say that war is imminent, and I'm not saying tomorrow or next week, but I'm saying in the next 6 months for sure. And so I definitely answered the question that it's always been fucked, but right now we're a little bit more fucked, I guess. Maybe it's not just the tip anymore. Maybe it's like we're getting down to the shaft.
We're a few inches in.
Yeah, we're a few inches in, and with no lube at this point. They're just doing it. That's the one thing. I thought this poll was really interesting, and I think a fun sub poll would be, because you mentioned social media, and all of the information that we have at our fingertips now, and all of the people out there doing sort of guerrilla journalism, or gonzo journalism, as Hunter S. Thompson used to put it, but. Everybody's a fucking reporter. You never know. You could capture something on your phone tomorrow and be world famous. Your video could go viral. But with all of that, it's almost like the powers that be just don't try and hide it anymore, because they know they can't. So they're just out in front with this stuff. They're just like, well, yeah, train derailment. Yeah, no big deal. Chemical fires, the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. I mean, it's like they're just doing it. We know who did it. We know who's behind all of it, and they don't care. They're like, yeah, what are you going to do about it?
It truly feels like that.
Yeah.
And I think as we get into the rest of the show, we'll get into some of the Ohio business. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but we're going to show just what a bunch of clowns the governor of Ohio actually is when they go to somebody's house to drink the water. We'll get into that more, but it's a perfect example of how there's just very little effort being put in to keep the narratives together. It's just all about throwing some shit out there and hope that not everybody thinks you're a fucking idiot.
Yep.
Sonia Bean, thank you for the comments. She writes, "We are worse off now than when we had the Great Depression. Less percentage of homelessness. There was less percentage of people not being able to afford to eat, and we had better medical care. Mind you, it was just cocaine and bed rest, but I'd take that over what I'm getting now."
Good point. Good point. Yeah, well said.
Irresponsible podcast, which they are very, very, very engaging for us on Twitter, so we really appreciate them. It's always been this fucked up, but I also think as we age and gain wisdom, we become more aware of all the bullshit around us, because now we actually give a shit about what's going on. Yeah. Interesting take.
Yes.
I mean, our awareness level is definitely peaked. I would definitely say that.
Agreed. Yep, agreed.
Let's see here. State of obscurity. We've never known what the fuck we were doing, which is expected because, this is our first go at it. But still, we shouldn't ever be under the misconception that we have anything under control. Now, this interesting take, but this wasn't about being in control of anything. It was about knowing that, we're seeing so much more. There's so many more things that are not, that are just absolutely extreme at this point.
Yeah, I agree. So I was watching, my wife and I were watching Avengers: Age of Ultron. And I mean, this might be just totally super cheesy to bring up, but Vision gets created in that movie. Sorry, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it. Where have you been for the last 5 years? But Vision gets created, and he and Ultron have a conversation at one point. And it's just this, they're both kind of stalling, trying to wait for their backups to get there and set things in motion. But they're having this sort of very deep philosophical debate. I mean, it's two computers basically having this debate about mankind. And Vision, I believe it was Vision. It might have been Ultron. Anyway, one of them says something to the effect of, humans, I think it's Vision. He says humans are very interesting. in that they think that there's a difference between order and chaos. And I really, maybe it was the couple of beers that I'd had while we were watching the movie or whatever, but it really, that kind of hit me as like, order and chaos are the same thing. I mean, you can bring order to one bit of the universe, of your house, of your neighborhood, whatever. But that's just going to put. I mean, the universe is all about balance, right? So if you put one thing in order, it's going to knock something else out of order. And the more light you have, the darker the shadow. So I don't know. It was just a very interesting that we all want to pretend that we, to this comment that you brought up, we all want to pretend that we have some sort of control over all this. We don't. We have zero control over any of it. And the people who do have somewhat control, one thing they're not banking on is when when enough people start to catch on and whatever happens. I mean, look at the French Revolution and what happened to the Russian czars. I mean, when the people decide to rise up and they've had enough, the people who are quote unquote in control don't have control anymore either. So I don't know. It's very interesting time to be alive. I'm actually, for all the, being a baby and being a big bitch and saying life sucks, I am glad to be alive right here, right now, and be witnessing all this because it's historic. I mean, whether you want to believe it or not, what we're going through right now is historic, and there's some of us are going to survive it all, and we're going to need to, tell the kids, hey, don't do this because it's chaotic.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was an interesting take also.
And just for the record, I can't stand Vision. I think he's a really shitty superhero. I
I
hated him every second of him.
I don't hate him. I was indifferent to him. Here's the thing is so he was a doomed figure from his very conception. I mean, the minute Stark, thought him up, thought of the idea, not even Vision, but just thought up the idea of Ultron, it had to be it was doomed for failure. And so you knew Vision was never going to make it through all of it. So I was kind of indifferent to him because I knew he wasn't going to be around forever.
I rooted for Ultron. All right. So the other thing I wanted to get into is as far as housekeeping, because we got a fantastic response to this. I went to go see Cocaine Bear last night.
All right. What'd you think?
This was a gift. This was a Christmas gift for my youngest. He wanted to take a bunch of his friends to it, so we got him, good. I think it was like 14 movie tickets. That said, okay.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah. So he went ahead and he and 14 of his friends, a couple of really cute girls too, which that's my
good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was a beautiful, touching story about a bear destroying people's bodies, limbs flying everywhere, blood everywhere. It was hilarious, Fitz. It was one of the funniest movies I've seen in a really, really long time.
Now, was it funny because they were trying too hard, or was it funny because they purposefully made it funny?
There were times where it was legitimately funny, but yes, It was over the top. It was SNL type humor.
Yeah.
Overly gory just to do it. I won't go into the amazing Ray Liotta and how he ended up. But
okay.
I'm just telling you, I wouldn't go see it in the theater. I don't feel it's theater worthy. But it was definitely worth. It's definitely worth watching. And for all our listeners who are smoking out, or getting drunk or doing whatever drugs, maybe do some coke while you're watching. I don't know. It might be a great thing to do. It's definitely that kind of movie, and it's going to be a cult flick. It is going to be. It's gonna. The sequels are going to be just like Sharknado and all of those things.
Yep. Piranha. Yep.
Exactly. So it was really, really good though. Really enjoyed it. So that begs the question that I threw out there for a sequel: what animals should get hooked on cocaine and go on a rampage next? Fitz, we got some fantastic.
Yeah, we really did.
Answers.
Yeah,
we really did. Porn Stash wants to see a gorilla.
Yeah.
Complete. Yeah, I think that would be
Oh, that would
fantastic.
be that might be more terrifying than the bear. I don't know. I mean, they're so strong, and when they want to be brutal. But by the way, I'm not going to go into it, but I saw this amazing video on YouTube, and actually, I think it was based off of A&E series called "I Survived," and it's just these amazing tales of these people who survived, just things that they definitely shouldn't have, but lived to tell the tale. And this guy, the one that I saw, went through a chimpanzee attack.
Oh,
And holy shit, I these are just chimpanzees. So imagine a fucking gorilla. It was a terrifying, harrowing story. I don't know how he survived it, but he did. Anyway, so yeah, that's a gorilla's a great one.
cocaine honey badger. We got a couple of calls for that.
Oh yeah, yeah, because that honey badger don't give a fuck. We all
No.
know that.
And then it's hopped up on coke, and it's just gonna be it's just it's a
God,
machine of death.
yeah, that's a
Um,
nightmare right there.
Drunk with Buds brought that one up, so that was fantastic.
Excellent.
The most creative one for me was from Quad Pro Quo podcast, the Cocaine Red Panda.
They're so cute.
They're
I don't know that I
fucking
could be.
adorable.
They're so adorable. I don't know
But
that I could ever be afraid of that thing.
no, no, and that's what makes it even more beautiful is that
Yeah.
you're gonna have to be terrified of this just adorable menace on society. I thought that was fantastic.
Well, because you could just see it now. Oh, look, he's so cute. Bah! And then
Yeah,
boom, there's just blood everywhere.
yeah, exactly. And he's eating you from the insides out.
Right.
Vecca Salt, she's actually a indie streamer. You guys should check her out. It's at Vecca Salt. Wolves and mountain lions, no
Yeah.
brainer there.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
brainer.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. I think we had a few more. So, let's see here.
Meth
Meth
Moose.
Moose from Barcelona
That's,
Red.
that's so good. Good call, Barcelona. He and I go back and forth quite a bit on Twitter. I appreciate him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he
Um,
is a good dude. He
that's
really
pretty great.
is.
Cocaine
Um,
platypus.
I don't even know where to go with that. That's like I'm thinking aardvarks would be great, but that would. Can you imagine that little land duck thing coming after you?
Yeah, but they're terrifying. I remember they have
And
the little
yeah,
poison darts on their back
yeah,
feet.
and they're
Yeah.
hooked or something too, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a hooked barb. So, and it's like the most deadly neurotoxin on the planet. Um,
Jesus.
I'm surprised nobody went, fantastical, like cocaine unicorn or, cocaine
Oh,
wyvern, something like that, like a dragon.
we did
Um,
get we did get the MonsterVerse movies where Godzilla is trying to stop Kong and Kong is on a cocaine rampage.
oh, that's true. Okay. All right.
That would be. But I'm with you though. A coked up unicorn would be fantastic.
Oh yeah, because you just hear these bells, coming as it's running on its rainbow bridge, and then all of a sudden it just gores you. You just right through your skull.
And it's just enjoying the shit out of everything it does.
Yeah. Right.
Canadian geese. That was by the
Oh God.
Germinator. That was frightening.
Oh no, that's not okay. Because geese are genuinely terrifying.
Now, cocaine dolphin.
Hmm.
It's gonna either try and shred stuff or it's gonna try and hump them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that being a sex orgy in the water.
Yep.
And dolphins, like, yes, if you're in the water, they're scary. Same as sharks. But as soon as you get out of the water, you're good.
Yep.
Like, oh, look, a beach, and movie's over. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Heroin rhino.
Okay.
That was from Not Quite Cool podcast. Coked up rhino with that gigantic nose. I thought
Yeah.
that would be, and that would be some. And I'm envisioning like a Gods Must Be Crazy like movie though,
Yeah.
where it's just
Yeah, yeah,
storming
yeah.
throughout Africa and it's just
Right.
destroying
Putting out
stuff.
fires. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
it's really good stuff.
I saw a video just thinking of a rhino of this rhino who was he was at a watering hole and he got too close to this elephant or this mama elephant and her calf.
Oh,
And I mean, it's
that's not good.
terrifying how, I mean, the elephant just did kind of like a little Not even a big one, just a tiny little donkey kick. And the rhino literally went airborne. Rhinos weigh like 1,200 pounds.
Yeah.
Or maybe more. I don't know. I'm guessing. But and it lifted the thing airborne. It's like, get the fuck away from my calf. So cocaine elephant would be even scarier, I think.
Cocaine elephant would be frightening, and then you've got that gigantic trunk.
Yeah, yeah, and the tusks
And
to just gore you.
and it's hoovering up the coke. I mean, it's gonna be over the fucking top.
Yeah, that would be yeah, that would be scary. Now, incidentally, Cocaine Bear was based on true events. If for those of you who don't know, there was actually a bear who got into a bunch of coke from. Did it fall out of a plane? Is that what it was?
So the story goes, the plane was shipping drugs, right? It was
Yeah.
there was yeah, and the plane was going down, and the pilot started throwing it out of the plane, and it all landed in this one nature area, and I think the pilot even died. But yeah, the bear got into the coke. It was real, it was legit, but I mean, it just died of an overdose. Nothing else
Right.
happened,
It didn't kill anybody, but
yeah. So
but somebody read that story and was like,
said no.
what would make a great movie?
That's right.
Oh shit.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and we'll head to break real quick. We'll come back and get into the news. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right.
Hey, we got a Hefe sighting here.
Hefe.
What's up?
Well, if you were going to have an animal get coked up on, well, just like not OD, but get hopped up on coke, what would you pick?
Kangaroo.
Ooh, good one.
Jesus.
Those things are already kind of aggressive and terrifying.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's an animal that already has hate in its heart.
Yeah.
It would rule the world.
Yep.
That's a great.
Yeah,
call.
it probably could. What about a stick with me here. What about like a colony of ants? Like the Siafu? Siafu, if you've not heard of these ants, they're in Africa, and they literally when they're always on the move, this colony, and when they come through a village, the villagers just leave. They don't even try and they just leave. And they let them do their thing. They're like the great cleaners of the African, floor. And then the villagers move back in, but their bite is so dangerous and they're so big. People just get the fuck out of the way. So imagine a colony of Siafu get into the coke.
That's frightening.
That's terrifying too, because then they're faster, they're meaner. They don't. I mean, yeah, scary.
I mean, fortunately, it's gonna wear off pretty quick.
Yeah.
So
yeah, coke goes through you quick.
Sorry, Hefe, go ahead.
I was going to say maybe those Siafu ants are actually normal ants on coke, and we just haven't tested them yet.
That is a great thought.
Has anybody tested ants for cocaine? I'm probably thinking not.
I don't think so either. They need to do a pee test.
Yeah.
UA, come on, get in here. So, how's the night going, Hefe?
Well, Gretchen fucked me.
Like,
Oh,
not literally.
No. It's that pit one on the weekends. It's you never know how it's going to go, and I just happened to be right in the middle of where she had to tweak it, and instead of a 3-ball, I did a 4-ball. So that's why I'm 20 minutes later than I thought I would be. But
that's
it
okay.
happened. It's all good.
Yeah, McShane and I, we have a lot of things to talk about, as you know. So we were fine.
Okay.
Yep. We did miss you though. I kept looking at the time, going, "All right, when's he gonna pop in?"
Here I am.
Bam.
Hey, are you guys excited about Kevin Durant being on the Suns?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was two different reactions. Why are you excited, Hefe?
Oh, I think when he's healthy, he can be dominant, and I don't really like that. What they gave up, and
Yeah.
That was
trade.
tough.
Their future is less bright now, but they figured they had to take a shot, and they're taking a shot. So they have a legit shot at getting it. So we'll see what happens.
McShane, what? Oh, go ahead, Hefe.
I wish he wouldn't be so injury prone. Kind of. That's very scary to me, but we'll see.
The injury prone, that's a big red flag for me too. But I think once he gets to the playoffs, he's going to be all in and he's going to play. I think that's the beautiful part of that trade, is that they know they're going to get into the playoffs. They need to get into the top 4, I think, because you want at least a little bit of home court advantage. But I'm intrigued by it. I didn't like them giving up Mikal Bridges. That hurt.
No, yeah.
But if you only have a very small window, because you don't have a point guard other than Chris Paul, and he's suspect. He's more of a red flag for me.
I was gonna say injury prone
than Durant, honestly, because they didn't back him up. They still only have Cam Payne, and Cam Payne is I'm not a fan. What about you, Fitz?
Well, okay. Just from a scruples, my scruples, I don't like ring chasers. I just don't. I will never. I don't care who brings up the conversation that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. I don't give a shit. The conversation's over. I won't even hear about it, because LeBron's just been chasing that ring wherever he goes. I mean, he's not. He was there in Cleveland for a while for the right reasons, and then he just gave it up. And I'm not blaming him for doing that, but he's not the best in my opinion, because he just put himself in situations where he would win. And I feel like that's what Durant's doing. Because he lobbied for this. And so just from a moral point of view, I already have a problem with it. And then on top of it, what we gave up. So like you said, Hefe and McShane, the future is dim. And then also I actually don't think he's going to be I don't think he's going to be very durable at all. I think we're going to get into the second round of the playoffs, and he's going to pull a testicle or something, and he's going to be out.
Those hurt.
Yeah, they do hurt. I pull my own, but to have one pulled in an NBA game, that hurts. So I don't know. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because you guys know my love for the Suns and how much I want us to win a championship. I just don't. I just don't think he was worth what we gave up.
That's going to be tough. There's a lot of draft picks too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we'll see.
Hey guys, briefly, what was the strangest thing that you ever drank when you guys were in your 20s?
Oh God. Well, we all drink together, so I think we were probably. It was one of ours bad idea, and the other one was like, "Yeah, I'll do that." Okay. The strangest and worst idea, and to this day has still ruined me, was the New Year's Eve party when I got over the line far enough that I just decided to pour Goldschlager into everything, into beer, into like I would open a can of beer, drink a third of it, and then just finish it off with Goldschlager and then drink it. And then, it was in I mixed whiskey and Goldschlager. I just put it in everything. And I'm surprised I survived that night. I have never been that sick. And I still, to this day, if people even say the word Goldschlager, my mouth is already watering. I have an immediate physical reaction. So that was by far the worst.
Well, I used to walk around the house with a bottle of tequila during party.
Yeah.
Party. Not just.
No, not just. Yeah. On a Tuesday morning.
So after a while, after that really bad night of that, I can't drink that anymore. But the worst thing I ever drank was, you remember the game we used to play called Kings?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And there'd be a big glass in the middle, and if
Yep.
you drew a king, you poured, and then the fourth king had to pour theirs in.
And you were drinking White Russians.
White Russians mixed with beer is not good. And I thought it was hilarious until I was the motherfucker that had to drink it. I was like, watch this. I'm going to pour mine in and someone's going to have to drink it. And I was someone. That was just wretched.
Yeah. Well,
That's
hey, so we were stupid. What about you, McShane?
Oh Jesus. So the story here is revolves around binge drinking, right? And it's
Yeah.
blackout rage gallons. So what these kids are doing in college is they're taking a bottle of water, mixing a gallon of water, mixing it with
Gallon.
vodka,
Yep.
dropping some caffeine into it, and then mixing like
Kool-Aid or
some
Mio.
Kool-Aid or
Yeah.
yeah, something
Yeah.
along those lines, right? And that's their blackout drink. That keeps them hydrated. It keeps them in the game. It keeps them not, they're not getting a hangover in the morning and stuff like that. The thing that surprised me was that, dude, I was cutting vodka with Gatorade,
Oh yeah.
and I would say, hey, I was doing this 20 years ago. Why
Yep.
is this even a thing now, other than it's TikTok that's bringing it about?
Now these kids think that they're. I saw a video of this young I don't know, Gen Z or maybe, and he was like, "Hey, a great way if you want to like reinforce the little tag in your coat so when you hang it up it doesn't rip off. You should reinforce it with dental floss, and you can sew dental floss on there." I'm like, "Dude, I've been doing that. My mom taught me that when I was like 6 on how to keep your shit. I mean, I remember sewing jeans with dental floss because it makes them like basically indestructible and it kind of looks cool. I mean, but he was acting like he just discovered this thing. And it's like, dude, that shit's been around since the fucking 60s at least, probably longer than that. But these kids like to act like they're just inventing all this shit.
Yeah, they're fucking full of shit. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are not pros. You're just gonna make yourself sick and do stupid shit. To answer your question, the vodka and Gatorade that was rough. But I used to drink something called a Jamaican 10-speed, and
Yes, I remember those.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and that ruined me for pretty much all Hawaiian type fruity drinks.
Yeah, that was that had I think it had Midori in it. It had a bunch
Yep,
of Malibu.
yep.
Well, there was one other liquor in there. Yes, Jamaican 10 speeds. You can't, I bet you can't even order that drink anymore because it's somehow cultural appropriation or racist or something.
Insulting
But-
Jamaicans.
why is it called that?
I do
Well,
not know.
Well, it's like because it's an island drink. I don't know where you get the 10-speed on it.
Right.
I mean, I know a lot of islanders, they just ride their bikes around because you can't, I mean, it's hard to get a car to some of those islands.
Maybe that's it. They don't
There
have
it
cars,
is.
so
Yeah. And it
God,
had
that's-
it had a creaminess to it too. There was a cream.
Yeah.
It was always that electric green.
hmm So it's coconut rum, melon liqueur, cream de banana.
Oh, that's what, yep.
And it was 1 ounce of cream. Was actually in it in London pineapple juice. So
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
I used to drink those like it was going out of style. And
Yeah, Hefe, that's a good point. Like, I could see if there was like 10 ingredients in it, and so you could
Yeah.
call it like a Jamaican 10 speed or something. But there's only 6 ingredients.
So it should be like a
Weird.
Jamaican 6-speed.
Yeah, or just a green Jamaican. I don't know. Is that racist?
Probably.
It is now.
Someone somewhere is throwing their phone down on the cement because I just said green Jamaican.
Hey, Hefe, you go back and
Yeah.
give Gretchen a good pat on the ass and say, hey, I'm back. All right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
let her know
I'll
that
do-
you're back. You came to play. I mean, you're going to do a hell of a job tonight.
That's
Don't say I came to play.
no. No.
Hey, so real quick, did you make any money on that 4-ball?
Nope, not really.
All right, so it was legitimately you legitimately got fucked by this.
Yeah, I think I got $25 right now total. Killing it.
So what
Sweet.
happens next when you come out? Where do you go?
I go to a 3-ball.
Okay. So are you going to blackjack next, or are you?
Yeah, blackjack. Then, or actually, no, Spanish 21, and then blackjack, and then 3-card poker.
Can you call it Spanish 2021, or is that racist too?
Ooh, I don't know. I want to get fired.
Latino 21. No?
Yeah,
Latinx
Latinx 21.
21.
people really come up to me and think they come up to the table and ask if it's just regular blackjack, but everything's in Spanish.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, we are so gonna get a freaking
that's
label
fantastic.
on this show from Spotify now.
No, we haven't mentioned COVID or vaccines. We won't get one yet.
Well, now you just did. Thanks.
Ah, shit. Oh, shit. All right. You heading back in, Hefe?
All right. I guess I'll go work.
All right, man. We'll see you in what, about an hour?
Yeah, in an hour.
Okay.
All right. We'll be here. All right, man.
Go kick ass.
All right. Let's go ahead and throw it out to our sponsors real quick. And
Yeah, and hey, how's that beer doing? Are we ready for a second one, or am I just drinking too fast?
no, I'm actually pretty ready for a second one. So I have
All right.
a good swallow here. So let's
Heyo.
we'll just shift into I'm gonna swallow deep and hard.
All right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna hit the news hard here. We got lots to cover.
Right in the anal glands.
Express those bitches.
All right, we'll be back. All right, so coming back for beer 2. Again, I'm staying away from my dark stuff. But I got a fun one here. If it's
I think I do too. We'll see. I could be way off, but we'll see.
so we've had Drecker on here before, and usually it's a really awesome sour, or a shake, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I've never had one of their dark beers. I don't even know if they make dark beers. But I have an IPA by them that I've never had before. I've never
Okay.
had one of their IPAs, so I'm really excited for this. Now this is pouring. It's a jizz color.
Okay.
It's a very well. I don't know why I'm drawn to looking at it coming out of the can. It's not thick like it, so that's a good thing. So it's not a shake.
That's so
It's-
funny that you say that because that's exactly what I have as a shake.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all
a
right.
smoothie. Yeah.
So, well, this is a lactose double IPA, and so
Hmm.
it's the lactose. That's what's giving it the
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
But it is a hazy. It's called Thor is My Co-Pilot. Now, I'm gonna let it settle for just a second. Go out to Drecker's site so we can go ahead and add that to the doc. We've talked about Drecker before. Drecker is a company or a brewery that specializes in just being fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Their whole thing is we're going to go ahead and make some wild shit and we're going to do it really, really well. So I'm not a big IPA guy, as we've talked about, but I definitely want to take a run at something that Drecker makes. So I'm going to take a drink here. First of all, it smells good. Very piney. I'm in a forest. I'm not being chased by a bear or anything like that yet, but Oh. So the IPAs that I do like, I like subtle bitterness, and I like it to be sweet.
Uh-huh.
I like it to, if I'm gonna get one, I want it to be, you're getting like the vegetation, right? You're just you're in the grass. That's what this is. This is really, really good.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, I'm really impressed. It's Drecker. I mean, it's Drecker.
Yeah.
We need to put Drecker into our Hall of Fame.
Yeah, we really do. They kill it. They just, I mean, they could, take orc piss and somehow make it into a good beer. I'm convinced of it. I mean, they're just geniuses over there.
Yeah, they really are studs. I don't know what the ABV is on this. It's a double IPA, so it's got to be over 9. But I will effort to find that while I'm on here. But again, artwork is awesome. Just very imaginative. All of their stuff. They put in a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really, really, it's good. This is a great IPA. I'm really happy.
Yeah, and they're out of Fargo, aren't they?
Correct.
Fargo, North Dakota. So I think when you live in such a inhospitable place like that,
Yep.
you find ways to, number one, to pass the winter months, but number two, you find ways to do it inebriated. And so it makes sense to me that they, that this is the thing they got good at, during all those cold months.
You're either drinking or fucking. That's what happens in North Dakota.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Why don't we live there? That should be the home of Whiskey Hell. They're like our spirit animal, drinking and fucking.
So we need to put our home office in Fargo.
I like it. When we become an LLC, that's what we're doing.
Here we go. Okay, it's an 8%er. It's an 8%er.
Okay, all right.
Oh, come on. You guys don't have anything on the actual beer itself? You suck. Well, there
Not
it
at
is.
brewing,
You can see
just
it.
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Thor is my copa, so it's cool. All right. What do you got
Love
over
it.
there?
Love it. Well, it's funny. Once again, you and I are completely in sync. You went with the Drecker. I went with something from Abomination Brewing.
Okay. Nice.
This is actually a collab with Brick City Brewing, which I've never really heard of. But this is called Make Sure It's Dead, Make Sure It's Dead, Make Sure It's Dead. They had to repeat it 3 times. And they have this skeleton in a fucking blender. So they want to make sure it's dead. This is a smoothie style sour with soursop, curuba, and pink guava. Now, I am not a pink guava fan. I don't like guava. I don't like mango. But every once in a while, one of those in a sour, in a beer, will just hit the spot for me. Unfortunately, this is not that beer. This is this is awful. It's it's really, really bad. I'm gonna finish it because that's the kind of person I am. I don't like to leave things unfinished, but this is the girl that you took home from the bar,
No.
Lights came up and you're like, whoa, but oh well, I'm committed. Let's go home. And then, you're going down on her and you're like, what am I doing? But you just have to finish the job. That's what this is.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Okay. You got to expand though. Is this the end of the night girl or is it the barfly?
It's the barfly.
Jesus.
It's the barfly. And
so sorry.
she's a local and she just waits. She's a wolf in sheep's clothing. She just waits for that one guy that looks desperate out on the dance floor. And then she comes up and grabs your crotch and you're like, all right, fine. Let's do this.
Hey,
and then it's just, yeah.
Come here.
And then it's just hate fucking from there on out. Just the rest of the night is just hate fuck.
You're just going to power through it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you, I mean, it's hair in a hole, but I don't know, man. This is okay. So what's wrong with this beer? It's very bitter. It's almost an IPA.
Okay.
It's and not like the nice IPA that you have. This is an unkind IPA. It's very thick when you pour it out, so it's viscous. It's a smoothie,
Yeah.
And there's too much.
So
they went real heavy on the guava.
It's more like discharge than it is like a beer.
Yeah, this is exactly that. This is discharge. This is not any of the fun stuff. This is the aftermath. You will have to go see a doctor for this condition.
Penicillin's not curing
it. You need a full round of the heaviest shit you got, Doc. That's oh God. Yeah, I haven't had a bad beer in a while, so I guess I was due, but whoa, man, this is bad.
Isn't Abomination Brewing hit or miss for you though?
I've been fairly happy with them, although now that you say that, there was another one that I really didn't like from them. I think it was another sour, actually.
That's interesting that they huh. That's interesting. So it's a sour. It's more. It's leaning towards the IPA. Are you
Yeah.
getting anything sour out of it at all?
Yeah. There's definitely some sour. They got the sour sop in there. I'm getting that. But it's just really heavy on the guava, and then it finishes with this really sort of aggressive bitterness at the end. It's just not. It's not kind. It's not kind going in. It's not kind going down, and it wouldn't be kind coming back up.
Well, make sure it's dead. Make sure it's dead. Make sure it's dead.
I mean, I guess there's a reason they printed it on the can 3 times. Now, I will say, silver lining here to this cloud. Their artwork is just fantastic. I love what they do. They do some really great Midnight Brewing and these guys, it's just dark stuff. And I mean, it's a really cool artwork. So,
all right. Well, let's see how that one warms up. You may be pleasantly surprised by the time you get to the end of the night.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't sound.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh boy.
All right. All right. So Biden went to Ukraine and then Poland. That was a little weird. He decided to nobody knew he was going. And then he's walking around with Zelensky, hanging out, doing his thing.
Yeah, some interesting. Oh, go ahead. Finish.
No, I was just going to go straight to that he fell up the stairs twice.
He did. Yeah, he did fall. That he is still the only man that I. Well, no, that's not true. When Hefe was like 13, his feet grew first before the rest of his body caught up. So he literally fell upstairs because I had an apartment. My mom and I were living in an apartment, and he would fall upstairs to go to my room. I've never seen anybody do that until Joe Biden. Now I'm watching, but he doesn't really fall upstairs. He goes for a little bit, and then boom, he falls down, and then he gets back up, and he goes a couple more stairs, and then boom, he falls down again. Hefe literally would finish on a stair higher than the one he tripped on, which was weird.
So he would burst up the stairs.
It was like he was defying gravity by rolling uphill. That's what it looked like.
He went into hover mode. It's interesting you said that his feet grew before everything else.
Well, right. I mean, they did. He had scuba gear on, man. He had flippers for a while.
What size shoe does he have now?
I don't know. I don't keep track of these things. I want to say like, Hefe, don't be mad. I want to say 10 and a half, 11.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll ask him when he comes back because the ladies want to know what size shoe he's wearing.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing for the ladies to know.
Yeah.
What size shoe he wears. But anyway, some interesting things about this trip. Number one, I still haven't sorted out the fact or the reason why he took a train. Do we know why President Biden was on a train?
I have no idea. No idea. But yes, he did. He took, what was it? What did they call it? Train Force One?
Train Force One, I believe, which is the worst name ever. Don't ever do that again.
Please don't ever do that again.
But he was on a train. And I mean,
he was pretty badass looking. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it was beautiful. Actually, I mean, it's always been not a fantasy, but a want of mine to be on a cross country, train ride that you just, my ex and I, one of our sort of pipe dreams was we were going to take the train from, it left from Tucson and you could take it all the way to New Orleans. And we were going to do that for Mardi Gras one year. And just, have a passenger car and, dine in the dining car and make friends. And so I mean, I'm actually the one thing that Joe Biden has ever done that I respect is that he got on this train. I just don't know why he did that instead of fly Air Force One into Kyiv.
They had to plan it, right? I mean, that had to have been planned. It's not like, let's go get on a plane or get on a train. I'm sure it was armored. I'm sure it was stacked. Even there was there was an account by the gentleman that
he organized it, right? Force One, that's what or Rail Force One.
Rail Force One.
Rail Force, yeah.
And he was talking about how they screwed up the rail lines and all this kind of stuff and made people late and all this other business, which I appreciate him at least saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do think it's cool. I think it's our president just taking liberties to, make things difficult on other places, because there's no reason he couldn't have just flown in. But
right, because I mean, Putin's not stupid enough to shoot down Air Force One.
Right.
So I mean, he would have had complete immunity to just land Air Force One wherever the fuck he wanted to, but instead he took a train. And now, was it clear to you, where did he take the train from? Did he land in Poland and then take the train into Ukraine and then take it back out, or what? How did that work?
I thought he landed in Kyiv and then he took the train from Kyiv to Poland to Warsaw.
Oh, okay.
But that's I could be completely wrong on that.
So that even makes less sense, actually. I mean,
let's Google Map this thing.
Yeah, well, just the fact that, I mean, if you're going to land in Kyiv, that would be the dangerous place to fly into. Poland wouldn't be dangerous at all. No, Poland's on the northwest of Ukraine. They're farther away from Russia than Ukraine is.
That's kind of a jacked up route. Did you see that?
No,
that's not that bad. Yeah, it's a straight route, but that's a long train ride.
Yeah, it is. Which, maybe Joe needed a break. Maybe he needed a break. You know what it was? I'm going to tell you. I got it figured out, man. He didn't want to walk up those tarmac stairs again.
I can't.
He just wanted to just get me on something flat and straight.
I can't do it anymore, guys.
I don't want to go upstairs anymore. Oh, the other interesting thing I saw, I don't know if you caught it, but when, whoever planted cameramen, I don't know if it was NBC or CNBC or CNN, whoever, was filming Zelensky and Biden walking up the stairs, this historic.
Yes.
In the background is one of Zelensky's doubles.
He was there. Yes.
Yes. And he's in the shot. Yeah.
And you could
God. What the fuck? You guys are bumbling idiots. He's in the same green shirt and pants and everything.
He's got the exact same build. He's a phenomenal double.
Oh no, for sure. No, I hope that guy's making bank. Because he's got a target on his back. He does.
Oh, that was...
Anyway, a very unusual visit.
Hey, my toast for the night right now, besides obviously being to our awesome friends of the show, but it's to Zelensky's double, his body double.
Yeah, whoever you are, bro, good for you for being
oh my God,
a target.
Now, did you see here? I want to play this too, because I think this is...
I've been here for the past 5 days. I have not heard any explosions. Yes. I have not heard any air sirens until about half an hour ago, right when President Biden was in the center of Kyiv, as Clarissa was just mentioning. I've been here for the past 5 days.
Thank you, CNN.
That was CNN. That's what really tripped me out. I mean, yes, the sirens were fake. We all knew that was going to happen. Air raid sirens have to go off when the president's there because, it's a war zone. But this was CNN calling them out. Crazy.
I thought that was very, very interesting. And of course, every conservative talking head latched onto it and absolutely ran with it.
Just eviscerated it. Yeah.
You should run with it a little bit, at least poke fun at it, because it wasn't a war zone. Come on. But yeah, it's that came up and that was interesting. So, let's see here. DoD email server spews info. You found this one. Fantastic job there. There's not a whole lot to say other than the fact that apparently the DoD is not putting password protection on their servers. Their email servers.
And it wasn't even, I mean, here's the part that blew me away about this article. This wasn't some backdoor, clandestine, you had to fucking get your way past 4 firewalls before you even got to this thing sort of exposure. Someone just didn't change the password on this thing, and it's just been out there spewing shit for what, a week? 2 weeks?
And it's the U.S. Special Operations Command. Now,
Jesus.
Granted, this is a TechCrunch article. You guys can go ahead and go to our show notes and check it out. Granted, there wasn't anything classified on there, but this is not good.
No. No, and they have to say that, first of all. There was nothing classified.
Yeah.
How do we know?
Yeah.
It could have been Spec Ops, mission statements, not mission statements, their mission logs, their strategy, any kind of intel on any upcoming missions. It could have been anything. And of course they're going to say, oh, no, it wasn't sensitive stuff. We don't know that. Prove it. Let me see the receipts. Let's show me what was out there.
So
they won't.
It looks like the limited data set that TechCrunch did see appeared to be none of the limited data seen by TechCrunch. So limited data. So they did call that out. Appeared to be classified, which would be consistent with U.S. SOCOM's civilian network, as classified networks are inaccessible from the internet. So it's still a terrible look. And no, you can't say that. For sure that there wasn't something that got out there. It's an email server, so now you've got civilians. In this case, maybe you also have government. You have government employees that were just doxxed. So that's still, while you might not have any classified documents, you just doxed a ton of people that are now. For me, if you're working at the government, you're compromised. So that's a bad look.
And now you're vulnerable to all kinds of things, everything from blackmail up to and including, death, being killed.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All
right.
Metal ball washes up on shore. Panic ensues.
About 6 hours after the story came out, because at first it was like, oh, what the hell is this? And now remember, everyone's still a little jolted from the, weather balloon incident, 4 or 5 weather balloon incidents. I don't know how many, but this thing washes up on the Japanese shore, and you should see these guys. They are approaching it. They're in full, bomb gear, bomb disarming guy gear. They've got all kinds of instruments. They got people standing back hundreds of yards from this thing. It's a fucking buoy. I don't know why. Why was this such a... The first time I saw it, I was like, okay, what the fuck is that? And then as they zoom in, I'm like, oh, that's just part of a buoy.
Why are we freaking out over this?
I don't know.
Because we freaked out over weather balloons and hobby balloons the last 2 weeks. That's why we did. So now we're going to get knee-jerk, stupid reaction. You can even see the hook. You can even see the attachment right there on the very end, on the top of it, where a chain would have been.
Yep, where the line broke. Yep.
Fucking stupid.
And
some of the memes that came from work, fantastic, though.
Oh, they were amazing. And if this thing had come out completely stainless steel, just shiny silver, then we could have been a little bit okay, what the fuck is this thing? Did this land from space or what? But it's all rusted. It's clearly been down in the water for decades. And people were like, oh my God, it's alien. No, it's not.
No, it's not, really not.
No.
It's just stupid. All right, let's do this. Let's dive into this, because I think it's really, really fun. Georgia is going through an indictment phase with they're trying to wrangle everybody who's from the 2020 election.
Yeah, from Trump's camp, basically. This is an anti-Trump.
Oh, it totally is. It totally is.
Yeah.
Here is the Georgia foreman.
Personally want to hear from the former president. I wanted to hear from the former president, but honestly, I kind of wanted to subpoena the former president because I got to swear everybody in. And so I thought it'd be really cool to get 60 seconds with President Trump of me looking at him and being like, do you solemnly swear? And me getting to swear him in. I kind of just thought that would be an awesome moment.
Psycho. She has crazy fucking eyes.
Oh, she does. Hopefully everybody goes out. Hopefully everyone's using our show notes and going out and looking at what we're looking at. But she's kind of structured like a mouse. She has a very rodent face.
Yes. Rat girl. Yes.
Yeah. But then those eyes, you're right, man. It's all in the eyes. She's very scary. And she did an entire press tour. So what really wigs me out, so kind of my job and what I do, she does this thing with her eyes. They will only look at the camera for a second, and then she's looking off to the left. She's looking up. She's looking down. She's looking off to the left again. She never makes eye contact. She's very elusive. She's lying, first of all. And second of all, she's a fucking psycho. She's just, you can just see it in her face. But anyway, she did the whole press junket, man. She went all over the place.
So the first one was from MSNBC, which
Yeah.
you know that they would jump all over this. So here's
Of course.
here's CNN.
When it comes to there are indictments recommended, of course. Is it
Yes.
more than 12 people? Is it more than 20 people?
I think if you look at the page numbers of the report, there's about 6 pages in the middle that got cut out. Allow for spacing. It's not a short list.
Not a short list. More, I mean, when it
Oh,
comes
dear.
to 75 witnesses, like, it's not, I assume, of course, it's
Right.
not 75 people. Would you characterize it as 20-ish people?
I can't say I counted.
Okay. More than a dozen, though, I think I heard you say in another interview.
I believe so. That's probably a good assumption.
The name that everyone wants to know about is former President Trump.
Of course.
Did you recommend charges against Donald Trump?
I really don't want to share something that the judge made a conscious decision not to share. I will tell you that it was a process where we heard his name a lot. We definitely heard a lot about former President Trump, and we definitely discussed him a lot in the room. And I will say that when this list comes out, there are no major plot twists waiting for you.
This is getting thrown out
Yeah.
because of her. This is getting
Yep.
thrown out.
Yep. 100%. She's, this is already saying too much just with her facial features, her looks to the camera when she does look at the camera. And even just the questioning, I can't believe that she would just flat out. Well, I guess she had to ask the question.
Oh, she totally did. I have no problem with who was asking the questions. I'm not sure who
Yeah.
that was, but the answers, the looks on her face,
Yeah.
the tells, I'm not going to say he was Trump, but he was all over it. I mean,
Yeah.
This was just completely inappropriate, and this chick should be going to jail for contempt.
Yep.
I'm just blown away. Now,
Yep.
this is like the kicker. This is a reaction from CNN. Anderson Cooper.
Enjoying herself.
Yeah.
But I mean, is this responsible? She was the foreperson of this grand jury.
This is a horrible idea, and I guarantee you that prosecutors are wincing watching her go on this.
I was wincing just watching her eagerness
Yes.
to hint at stuff.
It's painful in that respect. This is a very serious prospect here. We're talking about indicting any person. You're talking about potentially taking away that person's liberty. We're talking about potentially a former president for the first time in this nation's history. She does not seem to be taking that very seriously.
There's no reason for her to be out talking.
No,
I mean,
it's a prosecutor's nightmare. Mark my words, Donald Trump's team is going to make a motion if there's an indictment to dismiss that indictment based on grand jury impropriety. She's not supposed to be talking about anything, really, but she's really not supposed to be talking about the deliberations. She's talking about what specific witnesses they saw, what the grand jury thought of them. She says some of them we found credible, some of them we found funny. I don't know why that's relevant, but she's been saying we found this guy funny or interesting. I think she's potentially crossing a line here. It's going to be a real problem for prosecutors.
This person is talking.
Okay,
That was
so
CNN.
that begs
I'm
the
blown away.
question. Yeah, so that begs the question, why was she allowed to be? I mean, don't they sequester these people? Like, aren't you on house arrest or in a hotel or something? Why is she
I would've
allowed
thought
to
so.
go out?
That's what I would have thought. That's what I would have thought. Who let her off the chain? What was the goal there?
Maybe Trump's
that's-
people did. Like, here, go out, don't say everything, just say enough so we can dismiss the case.
Really, really fascinating. And
Yeah,
stupid
weird.
on top of it, because that
Totally.
because that was just a dumb 20-something move. I mean, and they went through deliberations, and the prosecution's like, when they're picking the grand jury, they're like, oh yeah, we want her on there. Yeah, she's crazy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and please make her the fucking foreman.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
Let's go to Alex Jones. Let's stay on the ridiculous. Can we do that?
Yes, please. Because I found this, and as I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh shit, McShane FA have to hear this. Oh shit, I couldn't send it fast enough.
I'm going to issue the Bill Gates challenge. You've heard of the ice bucket challenge, all the rest of it. If the earth is overpopulated, and Bill Gates is right, he's got some points, If Bill Gates gets a 44 Magnum on air, shoves it in his mouth, and blows his brains out the back of his head, the next day, after it's confirmed he's dead, I will blow my brains out on air. So you can do another ice bucket challenge, Bill, at your house where you dump gasoline on yourself out of a bucket because you want to go out with a bang, right? And maybe you strap TNT all on yourself because you back Islam, and then you dump gasoline on yourself, Bill, and then you light yourself on fire. How about that?
What the fuck are you talking about, Alex?
Dude, you've got the story of the week. As far as that's fun. That's fucking beautiful.
Oh my God! Strap TNT to yourself because you're a fan of Islam. Like, so you're saying he's a suicide bomber, even though you just want him to kill himself. What are you talking about, Alex? My God, he's such a fucking whack job on the other end of the spectrum of Bill Gates. That would really bring balance to the force, wouldn't it? If Bill Gates offed himself and then Alex had to.
Oh, I think I think that's a win for civilization.
Yeah, that's yikes.
I laughed so damn hard at that.
Oh yeah,
so beautiful.
I've watched that video probably 6 times. God. I mean, you're insane, dude. You're Alex Jones. You are insane, just as insane as Bill Gates is, but in the other way, totally.
Well, I want to play it one more time because it's beautiful.
Issued the Bill Gates challenge. You've heard of the ice bucket challenge, all the rest of it. If the earth is overpopulated, and Bill Gates is right, he's got some points. If Bill Gates gets a 44 Magnum on air, shoves it in his mouth, and blows his brains out the back of his head, the next day, after it's confirmed he's dead, I will blow my brains out on air. So you can do another ice bucket challenge, Bill, at your.
I like that he's like, after it's confirmed that he's dead.
Because I don't believe you until then.
Yeah.
Roll his dead body out here.
Yeah. We're going to do a Ferris Bueller here.
God, it was just, wow. Who says that? Only Alex Jones says shit like that. Oh, boy. Great.
I mean, I guess we need someone like Alex Jones on this planet so that I can wake up tomorrow morning and be like, okay, I'm a moderate. Like I'm sane and I'm a moderate, even though I have really fucked up shit going on in my head. I'm not Alex Jones. Like I actually deserve to take breath. So thank you, Alex, for that.
Oh,
wow.
Man. 5 environmental scientists die in plane crash while they're heading to Ohio.
Yeah. Where do you go with this? To say that it was just a coincidence is in this day and age right now, in these times when there are, so many quote unquote coincidences, things, all of the food processing plants that have been destroyed, all of the chemical fires that we've had, all of the train derailments with chemicals on them. And then these guys are flying to Ohio to investigate the metal plant that just burst into flames at 2 a.m. and no one knows why. And then their plane crashes, and they're from a totally independent company. They're not with the EPA. They're not. This is their own private company. They're flying their own private people to this place, and apparently the plane just blew up in the sky. Most of the pieces didn't even reach the ground. So I don't know how many plane crashes we hear of like that. I mean, you hear of an engine going out or a wing, getting clipped and the plane crashes. How often do you hear about a plane just sort of bursting, blowing up in midair?
5 people who
on
were
accident.
Killed. Five people who were killed when a small plane crashed soon after takeoff near Bill and Hillary Clinton National Airport in Little Rock.
Of course it was near the Clintons Airport. Oh my God, I didn't read that part. Holy
see that? That was like
I
that
did
was the
not.
best part. That was the best.
I did
part.
not. I skipped ahead. God damn it! I can't believe I missed that. Oh, that's so great. All right, so it did crash, leaving the Clintons. Okay, cool.
So now what we need to do is we need to go out and see who owned the mill, the metal factory.
Uh-huh.
And did they have any ties to the Clintons? That's what we need. We're not doing it now, but that's what we need to do later.
Yep. Good call.
Oh my gosh, twin engine plane. They were traveling in wind. Yeah, so one of the friend of the show, my buddy John. The first thing that he said was, "Well, they shouldn't have been out in the storms." All right, yeah, there were thunderstorms in the area, but come on, really?
If it's not safe to take off, they don't let planes take off.
They would have grounded them.
They ground you. That's how that works.
So I'm not buying that. I don't know what the conspiracy theory is, other than that that was what, like the fifth hazardous issue that happened in like 4 or 5 days, where you had 4 trains with hazardous materials, and then you had that blow up. And this
and there was a furniture.
Yeah, you had that too. But this one in Bedford, Ohio, is an hour away from East Palestine or Palestine. Yeah. So I'm sorry, this stuff can't happen that close together, and we'll just go, oh yeah, it's not a big deal. You got to at least check it out.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, a coincidence is like, well, I don't know. I mean, we all know when things smell fishy. We all know when it's more than a coincidence, and this one just smelled fishy. There's nothing about this where you go, oh my gosh, those poor people. What a tragedy. No, you go, okay, who killed him? I want to know who killed him, because that's exactly where my mind went.
That you have to go there. Let's go here next.
Oh God. All right.
I'll tell you, we believe in science, so we don't feel like we're being your guinea pig, but we don't mind proving to you that we believe the worst.
Okay.
Here's to Caroline.
I appreciate that.
Here's to you.
Thank you so much. Awesome.
That's good. That's really cold coming from that.
This is deep water.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's not my water, but thank you.
Well, I think.
So you've got a video of the Ohio Governor Mike DeWine.
Oh God, so much cringe.
EPA Chief Michael Stanley Regan drinking water from East Palestine, Ohio.
Did you catch the little dig there? The little dig right before they all drank. We believe in science. Did you catch that dig?
Oh yeah.
That's a fuck you to all the people who were anti-vaxxers. Fuck you to, I mean, that's, wow. I when I watched that, I was like, you fucking arrogant prick. That's what I mean. It's right out in front of your faces. Like, if he could have done a middle finger to the camera, he would have, but that would be not PC, so he didn't do it. But that's basically what he's saying when he says that. And yeah, it's cold out of the tap because it's fucking 18 degrees in Ohio right now, you dipshit. Where's this guy's fucking brains? Who fucked him in the skull and took his brains out with him?
You notice, look at the optics though too, right? So you've got DeWine. He's not talking. The governor is not talking during this. The EPA chief is the one who's doing the talking. The black guy in the middle, right? So he's the one who's actually saying, he's like, we believe in the science. That's good taste in water. And then the people in the actually own the house, they're not drinking any. It was very, very staged, very, very strange. And then
you have Unusual Whales.
and now that was now hats off to Unusual Whales for clipping that. So thank you.
Yeah.
But Unusual Whales goes off and actually has right below that 2023. The EPA said this is an article on Unusual Whales. You can go there in show notes. The EPA said the water in East Palestine, Ohio is safe to drink, but the water tested was sampled by the same company, we reported this last week, that caused the derailment, Norfolk Southern Corp NSC, or it's got the stock symbol. The test also did not initially comply with federal standards. And that was per Huffington Post. That was in our show notes from last week also. So I hope they don't get cancer, I guess.
And, here's the other thing too, is like, okay, you show up to this lady's house. They got what, 4 ounces of water in their glass, and they all took a sip.
Yep.
These people are they're showering in it. They're washing their clothes in it.
They're living in it.
They're living in it. They're drinking it. They're letting their pets and their livestock drink from it. It's out of their hose that they're watering their fucking yards with this spring. You can't just show up for a photo op like this. And the other thing was Unusual Whales came in like a wrecking ball. I was like, by the way, this is bullshit. But no, but some of the other comments below were like, oh yeah, see, it's safe. Why is everybody making a big deal of this? Why is it such a big deal? People are actually believing this bullshit. They don't see it for the photo op or the bullshit that it is. They're just like, oh yeah, see, he drank it. He drank a half a sip.
Yep.
That's not the same as living in it.
Or did he?
Or did he? Right. He might have just, he might be a spitter. And we don't like spitters.
Oh, so
Jesus
you found another video, and this was from Nick Drum on TikTok.
Oh, I love this dude. Love this dude.
It's a 2-minute video. Let's go ahead and play it because this speaks to everything that we talk about daily. While the left hand is doing this, you got to look at what the right hand is doing because something else is happening. So let's
and this kid, by the way, before you start the video, this kid, he kind of says in the beginning, he's been on this since the beginning. He's an environmental studies student and he loves this shit. He studies all environmental disasters just because he likes it. Like that's the kind of kid this dude is. And so he's been following this with high interest and been making these TikTok videos, which are very informative. If you are on TikTok at all, you need to go look him up. Nick Drom, DROM, NICK DROM. He's a great follow. I actually like his personality. He's a funny kid. But this video was pretty great.
But he's also, I want to say he's a not a biology.
He's a chemist, I think.
Yeah. He's got
chemical engineer.
Yeah, that might have been.
Yeah.
Well, here he is.
Yep.
Been on the front of everything related to the East Palestine crash. I was the first one to call out that we are not being told the truth here. And I have all these people who've been following this for like a couple days who believe that the government got to me because I'm saying vinyl chloride is not an issue. Or at least it's not the biggest issue that we have at play now. And honestly, we are at a point of complexity in the situation now that if you do not have at least a couple years of university education in physics and chemistry, you're probably going to get a lot of stuff wrong when you're covering this. The documents being released by the Ohio EPA, the federal government, and the railroad are not meant to be understandable by lay people. So when you're seeing people reading documents that they don't know how to read, it's easy to understand why people are getting so many things wrong. Now, I'm not saying that vinyl chloride was not a big deal. It was a huge deal. But the thing is now, we have bigger deals. There was at least 60,000 gallons of oil. This isn't crude oil. We actually are pretty good at cleaning up crude oil. This is a refined lubricant product. Most petroleum lubricants have a lot of additives put in them, and they're often proprietary chemicals that have never been studied. This is why I think it's so insane that everyone's so focused on vinyl chloride. Right now, we have zero indication that vinyl chloride is a present issue. We have zero indication that hydrogen chloride and phosgene are a present issue. We don't have any indication that dioxins are not a present issue. And we have a lot of evidence through both what the EPA has said and what the railroad has said that they buried a ton of toxic, poisonous oil in the ground to open the railroad. The thing is, the railroad probably loves that you're talking about vinyl chloride because they know that they can prove that there isn't any vinyl chloride. By obsessing over vinyl chloride and phosgene and all the over-sensationalization of all of that stuff, you guys are missing out that they buried poison. You have to understand, unlike vinyl chloride and phosgene that want to break down in our atmosphere, there are potentially chemicals in this oil that's been buried in the ground that are going to last there for longer than any of us will be alive. These chemicals could continue to leach into the water table for decades.
He's a beast. I like him.
Oh, it's fucking it. What a call out. I mean, he's calling out the EPA. He's calling out Norfolk Southern. He's calling out everybody who's, out there on TikTok wanting to, get their views, their clicks for talking about vinyl chloride when really, yes, that's an issue, but it's not the biggest issue. We are going to have a problem for lots of years in that area. And those people, those poor people, they were offered $1,000 and they took it. And when they took it, they signed away all rights to any future bullshit that might happen, whether it happens to their health, their kids' health, their community's health. It's all gone. They can't sue. They can't do anything about it. What a tragedy. What an absolute travesty. And by the way, on President's Day, our president was where? Oh, in East Palestine? No. He was in Ukraine and in Poland. And these people they're living a nightmare. And he's nowhere to be seen. And Pete Buttigieg, we don't even have any stories about him, but his visit to East Palestine was a fucking joke. It was, just go look it up, people. It was such a joke. It's not even worth us giving time on air for it. It was a joke. And these people have to live with this shit the rest of their lives. Unbelievable.
You know what else is unbelievable?
Yeah, yes. Lots of things, but how about the story you're about to bring up next?
3 fires broke out at 3 different oil facilities in Mexico, and one in the U.S. is operated by a state-owned Mexican oil company,
Pemex. Pemex. Yeah, Pemex. That's what it is.
They all happen on the same day.
And again, at like 3 a.m. This wasn't middle of the day that people can be like, oh, look, a spark from this, dolly lit a fire. No, it was at 2 a.m. when no one's around. They have no idea how the fire started. And the shit that's spewing into the air from this stuff, it is unbelievable. It looks like oil shooting straight up in the air.
Oh,
that black smoke.
It's black as black can be. This reminded me of, do you remember when the Iraq oil fields were on fire? When the Iraqis, when we were coming in, they lit everything on fire? That's what it reminded me of.
Yep.
I'm sure it's just a coincidence, though. It's stuff, oil fields, if one's going to go up, they're going to go up. They're all going to go up together.
Three from the same company.
And three completely different areas.
Yeah.
That all happens at one time.
Yeah. And so I love that people were like, and we talked about this on the show last week, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I love that the defense of the fact that there was zero federal response to the train derailment in East Palestine. That everybody's quick answer is, well, there's 1,000 derailments a year. Okay. I'm fine. I'm going to fucking give you that. I'm going to gift that to you. You're right. There's 1,000 a year. But not all of them are this.
Define derailment.
Exactly. They're not all this devastating, but okay, fine. You get that gift. There's not 1,000 fucking oil refineries that go up every year. There's not even 10 that go up every year. And 3 happened on the same day. You cannot tell me that's a coincidence. That's what I mean. You start lining up 1 + 1 + 1 +, and pretty soon you're like, okay, we got a full metal jacket here, full magazine, and someone's ready to shoot because they've been loading their clip this whole time, and we're on the precipice here. It's crazy.
Well, I got to tell you, Fitz, the thing that we need to really worry about is woke Legos.
When you sent this over, I was like, no, really?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Really? Yes.
Here's Fox News.
Lego, excuse me. Got me with both on. Lego is going woke. The company unveiling a range of new characters in the effort to be more inclusive. Lego says the new characters will promote diversity and understanding. Some will have anxiety issues. I don't know how you show that. One will have a missing limb, another Down syndrome. These are really important issues.
Yeah.
Do you want Lego in there?
Definitely not. But what's so fascinating about this story is the divide in the country. Republicans think it's insane that they're forcing identity politics into Legos. Democrats are upset that they didn't make a drag queen stripper. They're like, you call this a children's toy? What kind of set is this? No, it shouldn't be going on the way it's going on. But the reason they force identity into toys is because they think identity comes with a built-in political orientation. And that's what they're after here. I'm not having it.
Wow. I just want to build, like, I have a Lego set that builds the White House.
Yeah, no, imagine that. And that's the whole point of Legos. If your kid builds with them, he's smart, he's going to be fine. If he eats them, you got to keep an eye on that kid. That's all they were there for.
There you go. And Play-Doh is like that too. Outnumbered next.
I could not believe that this was a story. I can't believe that Fox even went there. I can't believe Lego's going there. But the thing that the ones who are politicizing this bullshit is actually Fox. Because what Lego's doing is it's called a cash grab.
Yeah.
They're taking advantage of the woke side of things. And yeah, they're going to cater to the masses that buy Legos. Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? Am I going to buy a woke Lego set? Probably not. Is there somebody out there who might want a set that, so that you can say that, well, this kid has this Lego set has an anxiety disorder, so this matches with what you've got, Timmy, and this will make things all better. Okay, if that works for the kid, fuck yeah, great. But that's what this is. It's a cash grab. Let's not call it anything more than that. It's an opportunity.
Well said, dude. Well said. I don't have anything to add to that side of it. The other angle here is that remember when we were kids, and this goes back strangely. I don't know how we got full circle here, but strangely we got back to kind of where the show started. But you remember when we were kids, what Legos made and what other toys were these heroes that we were supposed to want to be. We were supposed to look up to, right? Not that we're like us. They weren't like us. They were things that we wanted to become. Right. We wanted to be better, so we could become a G.I. Joe soldier, or we could become, a space shuttle astronaut, or we could become Michael Jordan. I mean, those are things that were what I looked up to and wanted to be around. Not things that were like me. I didn't search out toys that were shorter than all the other kids. I didn't search out toys that got bullied the way I did. I wanted things that were not me. I wanted an escape from my reality, and I wanted things that I could become to be more powerful than my problems. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're telling kids, hey, you know what? It's cool to be different, which, by the way, that was told to me a lot when I was a kid, so I don't know what's changed there.
Nope.
But also, you shouldn't aspire to be anything more than what you are. Just be okay being mediocre, be okay being a nobody, be okay with your, anxiety issues that don't let you overcome and go out and be a productive, member of society. Just be okay with it. I have a problem with that. That's my big separation from and problem with the Democratic Party is that they want to say that we're going to give you all these social nets, these programs to help you maintain your life. But what's not said, they never finish the sentences because, pat on the head, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough to do it yourself. So we got you. We're going to give you these Social Security checks, not Social Security, but welfare checks. We're going to give you these, all the SNAP benefits. And but what's not said is because you're not able to make the money yourself. You're not able to lift your own self up out of the waste that we've created.
They don't want them to do that.
Exactly. My point. It's
a control point.
Yeah, it is. You're right. And so Lego's making, I don't have a problem with the Lego that has Down syndrome. I think that's really a great thing. I don't have problems. But when you start sort of justifying and not having kids, especially, again, I said it earlier, when you start going after the kids, I have a problem with it. But when you start not giving kids things to dream about and to strive for and to be motivated about, and you just start telling them that they're okay being the broken little souls that they are, where does that go in 30 years? Who are those adults going to be? We're already starting to see it.
I just
craziness.
Want to know because isn't every Lego a drag queen in the making?
Well,
just think about
that's
this.
The other part of this. How could you not do whatever you want with Legos anyway?
That's what I don't understand. You're just slapping up. You're just branding it. That's all you're doing.
Yep.
No.
Like you said, you're monetizing it. You're monetizing it.
That's it. This Lego guy, you're not allowed to put an arm on him. Fuck you. I'm going to put an arm on him. He's no longer an amputee. Fuck you. Who do you think John Fetterman's wife is doing while he's in Walter Reed getting depression help? How's that for a gear shift?
No, that's perfect. I don't know who she is doing. I know who she's not doing, and that's me.
She's
not doing me, and I'm pretty sure she's not doing you. No, okay. So we've eliminated 2 people that she's not doing. So this story is actually, I said it earlier on our group chat. I'm gonna say it here on air. I don't want to laugh about this story because it actually, at the end of the day, it's a sad story. It's
awful.
It's one that it is. It's awful because any guy who has this sort of thing going on in his life, that just sucks. Any person, it's not even a guy, but it's any person. But for some reason, I guess because he's a public figure and because he actually won an election and because people actually believed in him, the fact that, and I don't know how they believed in him, but they did. The fact that this is all happening right now, I giggled and I feel bad for it. And I know I'm going to hell and I'm just going to actually be okay with that right now.
Well, so here's the thing, right? So you've got, I'm trying to put myself in the individual's shoes, not Fetterman's, but because that
his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're at home, your husband says, I got to check myself in. I'm melting. I'm whatever's going. I'm not even going to speculate what's going on in his head. I don't even want to do that. So he checks himself into Walter Reed. Now you're at home, and all of a sudden you've got all of these reporters and everybody who's floating around his house. You become the center of the universe because you've got this guy who barely made it through the election to beat Oz, first of all. And then he's had a stroke. Sorry, I've heard the guy talk, and he's not too far from a vegetable. The dude.
No, has he strung together a sentence that has more than 5 words in it? I challenge any of our listeners to go find the sentence that he's done.
I think he's more coherent than coherent than Uncle Joe, but that's pushing it though.
But that's a low bar. Come on.
Well, it is.
That's so like saying that I can run faster than a fucking sloth. I mean,
well,
yes,
yeah,
of course.
So I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. Yeah, I might want to get out of there. I might want to get my kids on the road and not be at home.
You need a break.
You absolutely need a break. So you go to Canada. You go ziplining.
Of course you do. And next will be a Caribbean cruise. Maybe a foray around the Baltic Sea. I hear that's nice this time of year. No, actually, it's not. It's cold.
Oh my gosh!
Down to Australia. It's summer down there.
I get it. I get why she might have done it. I would hope that if I ever had to check myself into an institution, that at least the first week my family would be supportive. After that, whatever. But first week, I'd like him to at least be there for a little bit.
Exactly. And so they quoted her, what was this, a tweet? Yeah, she tweeted. Yeah, so they quoted her tweet with emojis included, by the way. And tell me,
the Gateway Pundit they're a bunch of dicks.
No, totally. But tell me, just because this is an actual tweet that she put out, this is a life of privilege this woman has, first of all. Yep. I'm not really sure how to navigate this journey, but I'm figuring it out slowly. 1 week ago today, when the news dropped, the kids were off from school and media trucks circled our home. I did the first thing I could think of, pack them in the car and drive. We drove straight into ... Canada and lovely Buffalo, New York. Pro tip, always have passports ready just in case you have to run away. Sweaty face emoji. Do you realize what you're saying out there? Like not most, a lot of people don't even have a passport.
She's trivializing this so badly.
Totally. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you even hear yourself talking? Do you even see what you're typing here? This is not a struggle. Okay, I understand it's discerning and disheartening to have all the media vans circling your home, which I'm sure was not a cheap home. But hey, pro tip, have your passports ready. Come on, lady, get a fucking grip. This isn't a life and death situation. I know you want to get your kids safe and have them away from the media frenzy, but there's other ways to do it. Come on.
Well, and then you don't go online and tweet about it.
Exactly my point. Just fucking be quiet about it. Go do what you're going to do with your passports and your fucking kids, but don't tweet about it. Come on.
You go dark.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You go
That's what I would do.
Dark and you don't say anything.
You bet.
Out of respect for one, your husband, and two, your kids. But no, let's go ahead and get out there and throw some stuff up on Instagram, give some thumbs up. You know what this is? This is a marriage that these two have not, I'm making an assumption. These two have had virtually nothing to do with each other for a very long time. That's what's going on there.
Yep. I would agree wholeheartedly. And again, this is not, I mean, this is whiskey hell. We're not out here to dismantle somebody's or, pick apart someone's marriage and be judges that way. But if you're going to put yourself out there like that, if you're going to run for office or have your husband run for office, and then when he has tragedy strike, you're going to tweet about it. You deserve every bit of negativity that comes your way. I'm sorry. You do.
Yeah. If you're going to do that,
yep.
Enjoy the journey.
Here's the deal. I'm not going to post a picture of my penis out on social media unless I want the feedback from it. So right? I mean, if it's 6 feet long, I'm going to post a picture of it and I want people to go, "Oh my God." But if it's small and I put a picture out there, I better be ready for the negativity that's coming my way. You can't say, "Oh no, leave me alone. Small penis things that's real. That's a real struggle." Shut the fuck up. Don't put it out there. Just be quiet and just turn into a funny guy. You'll still get laid. Trust me. Anywho.
Oh, shit. Have you ever wanted to bang a balloon?
Wanted to? No. Have I? No comment.
God.
No, I can honestly say, you know what's weird about this one? Well, go ahead. Let's get the story out. But my first thought on this was kind of weird but it's these two pictures that did it. So I don't know if the writers of this article wanted to go this way or if it's just my sick head, but go ahead. What's the story?
This is not kink shaming. Okay. This is not.
No, not yet.
Hefe, you're at a perfect time.
Oh, thank God you're here, dude. Thank God you're here.
We need you for this one. We need you for this one.
Oh my God.
We need you for all of them, but this one especially. I'm sexually attracted to objects and in a committed relationship with balloons. A man who says he is sexually attracted to inanimate objects has revealed that he is currently in a high-flying committed relationship with a bunch of balloons. He loves them so much he could burst. This is obviously the New York Post. Thank you.
Obviously.
A man who says he is sexually attracted to inanimate objects has revealed that he is currently in a high-flying, committed relationship with a bunch of balloons, according to Jam Press. Akash Majumdar, 28, and from Mumbai, India, said that what started as a friendship has now inflated into something more.
Oh, God.
I like their presence and warmth and share intimate feelings with my balloons and vice versa. Majumdar told Need to Know Online. When you're in love, you spend a lot of time together and accept all kinds of flaws.
Wait. So he's saying that he shares intimate feelings with the balloons and vice versa. So they share intimate feelings back.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to let you guys go first. I have a, go ahead.
Is there any inanimate objects that you've ever felt a a special relationship with.
A connection with?
A connection. Hefe, I pose the question to you first.
The look on your face, dude, is just priceless.
I don't like I haven't even had like a car that I was sexually attracted to. I mean I don't mean to be insensitive, but this guy should have friends that care about him and need to get some help for him. Like,
no, that's well said, dude. Yeah.
This is Looney Bin shit.
Yeah, it is.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about balloons, man. Talking about balloons.
Yeah, balloons are fucking scary, by the way. So.
Yeah, you and I talked about that on one show a while back, but we did have that balloon creep into your room that one night and scare the shit out of us. It literally had a mind of its own.
Yep.
McShane, what how about you? Are you making love to balloons here? What are you?
I've never had an inanimate object that I was attracted to or had a connection with of that magnitude. I think they're functional. I enjoy a good chair. Don't get me wrong. But I've never wanted to, like confide in anything like that. Maybe my microphone. I get really close to it like this. I'm really, really in there right now, but that's like probably it, I think.
Is your microphone one such that you could like put your mouth over it?
Oh yeah, here I'll do it right now. I can't unhinge my jaw.
No, that's great. That's great radio right there.
Yeah, that was exactly the sound I was looking for right there.
Good. I can't gag myself with it. I can't deep throat it, but I can definitely I can get a little bit of it in my mouth.
All right. So here it is. Okay. First of all, I'm not against people getting into inanimate objects. In fact, one of my favorite porn scenarios. And by the way, people, check this out because there's like many videos like this. But one of my favorite porn scenarios is that the stepsister is having sex with her pillow, or she's rubbing herself on her pillow, and then the stepbro walks in, and then boom, it's on. Like, that's one of my favorites. I love it. And there's a ton of them out there, by the way. I mean, so you want to have sex with your pillow, great. You want to have sex with balloons, great. Where this kind of has a creep factor to me is that balloons are normally associated with children. Yeah. And both of the videos, or both of the pictures in the beginning of this article, one of them has a little tiny like stuffed teddy bear, like pedo bear. Hello. How is that not kid related? How is that not pedophilia, or at least kind of going down that path? And then the other picture had something else that was child related. I forget what it is now, but so to me, that's where this kind of gets creepy. Is number one, he's saying that they share intimate feelings with each other, or they share their feelings. They have a conversation apparently. So yes, Hefe, this is a mental disorder. Why is this guy not getting help? I mean, back in the 80s, 90s, this guy would have been in a straitjacket with padded walls. I mean, we don't let people have sex with balloons. What the fuck is going on? Secondly, oh, there it is. So that was the other picture, is that in the background, there's really young ladies back there over the balloon. And so he's at a McDonald's, which is also, play place, lots of kids around, families. I don't know. To me, this just screams pedo. And yet New York Post, not the New York Times. New York Post puts this article out. I don't know. I kind of have a problem with it. And only from the sense that it's kind of going down the kid route, not necessarily that he's attracted to inanimate objects, because, you do you, bro. I mean, vibrators and so forth, those are inanimate objects, although they animate when you turn them on. But I don't know.
Well, another thing, he's taking that thing to McDonald's for a date.
Apparently.
That balloon could do better, I think.
I mean, at least take me out for some fondue, bro.
Yeah.
So what happens? Okay, so I have never had the scenario where I'm with someone I love, I'm with a partner, and we're just going at it, right? I mean, it's, she's asking for harder. I'm doing as hard as I can go. I find it in me to go even harder, and then boom, she just pops. Do you know how traumatic that would be? I would never recover from that.
You killed it.
I killed it. Balloons don't last forever, bro. What? I don't know. I don't get it.
One day, while inflating a few balloons with a pump, a balloon got popped. I cried for the loss, and after that, I became more careful. So it made him a more gentler lover. There's a beautiful story in there.
God damn it.
So if you fill one with helium, they don't last forever. So they naturally die in we'll give it 2 to 10 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Depending on how hard you tie the knot.
Yes. Does he have a funeral every time one dies?
I think so. And I also think if he wears a condom, is that a threesome?
Yeah. It is now.
This gives a completely new dimension to blowjobs.
Yes, it is. And I mean, so okay, you're blowing up your balloon. Are you breathing your own life force into the balloon, or are you using one of those balloon pumps, like the little ball pumps? Because
that's probably a point of debate among balloon lovers. Like, the hardcore ones blow them up with their mouth, and they shame the ones that use the machine. Like, that's not real love, man.
Yeah, I guess so. And then what do you like? So this guy walks in, and there's somebody there making balloon animals. Does he see that as transforming his girlfriends into animals?
God.
Or is he like, oh God, that's so hot. Like, now I'm going to have sex with that Snoopy.
Oh, is it a trans balloon?
It is a trans. Of course it is. It's been transformed and from one thing to another.
So here's another thing. So if you fill one with helium and then you kind of bite into it a little bit and then you start swallowing the helium, does that make you a vampire?
Or you just like to swallow cum?
Oh God.
Oh.
And I mean, cum makes you high, right? I mean, that's right. That's what girls tell me.
Cum makes me high, Fitz.
That's what they've all told me. They love it. No, I'm joking on that. That's terrible.
So if you have gotten high off of cum, please write us at whiskey_hell.
Please.
On Twitter.
And with your name and number. For FA, of course.
And we'll have FA reach out to you.
Yeah.
Draw me an app.
Yes. Specific instructions how to get there. I don't know. I mean, I get it. Sexual fetishes are fetishes. They're just that. And again, we don't want to shame anybody, but that one's fucking weird.
It ranks up there with the person who was mounting the red fence and the in love with a 747.
Oh, the 747. Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. I know what you're about to get into here, McShane. I don't know if I can go here.
What? Come on. It's from CNN. It's perfectly fine. This Chinese kissing device lets you smooch over the internet. You put your phone in the top, and then this kissing device, you can make out with it, just like
that's shaped like a mouth.
Yeah,
it's silicone rubber mouth.
What's the
problem? And you put the phone on, and you look at your honey, and you make out with a silicone mouth.
We got to make Whiskey Hell ones for Christmas.
Oh my God, yes. Why? Okay, first of all, how long till someone gets their dick stuck in one of these?
Oh,
probably already happened.
It's already happened.
Oh yeah.
When I posted this, Porn Stash was already like, I'm sticking my dick in that. I'm like, of course you are.
Good for you, Porn Stash.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the first thing I thought. Of course. I mean, we're guys.
the R&D guys making these products, they already did that.
Oh yeah. Hey, Stan, it's your turn. Stick your dick in it.
Oh, they have to.
Well, yeah.
And they're also sitting there going, I'm going to make this thing. Watch these idiots. They're going to buy it.
Well, and how many women are putting this on their little magic bean on their clit?
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I would.
Okay, so if you're on the other end, then I'm guessing that you can. Somebody's using the other device. You can perform that, right?
I would think.
I need to find. There is a video that went along with this. I need to find the video because the video was fucking disturbing too.
But can you bite down? I mean, are there teeth on it?
I don't know if you can. I was gonna ask if there was a tongue, but I guess if we need to like.
I mean, if you got
mandibles,
if you have like a vendetta against somebody, you're like, no, baby. Oh, whoa.
There you go.
Okay, what the?
There you go, Hefe.
Huh. You probably got to pay extra for teeth.
Somebody's sticking their dick in that.
You know what? I hate to say this, but God damn it! Of course, this came from Asia.
Well, it's China, baby. And everybody wants to, call bullshit on China because, communism and stuff. Look what they're doing.
Look what they're doing.
Producing
Look at the innovation.
Some phenomenal innovations.
Oh yeah, my dick's totally going in that. Look at it. Look, watch the way it moves. Watch this. Watch. Oh yeah. Oh, right there.
I gotta go.
All right, Hefe.
All right.
Thanks for your help tonight, man. This is
all right.
You chimed in exactly right.
Later, man. All right, let's go to break and wind this shit up.
Indeed.
Fitz, it's been a night, brother.
Yeah, so I just want to quickly say, this beer, as it warmed up, it actually somehow got worse. It's awful. I highly want to dissuade anyone from trying this beer. The brewery, these guys are great. I'm all about Abomination. I shouldn't have. Well, I mean, I guess sometimes you get a bad beer, but it was terrible. So I'm glad I'm done with it. I mean, I did get it down. It's finished. It's over. But wow. Yikes.
So you're going with the cider for bed, right?
Oh yeah. No, cider was delicious. It was beautiful, very gingery. If you're not into ginger, don't do it. But if you are, wow, that beer really, really, like I said, it's liquefied candied ginger. Just really, really good. Which beer are you taking to bed?
I actually enjoyed both of them, but I'm probably going to take the Drucker to bed. And that's strictly, honestly, it's because it's a DIPA. It's a double IPA. It's heavier, and there's a lot more going on there flavor-wise, and it's way more interesting than the Unsung. I did like the Unsung, though, but that's going to be something I'm going to buy a 4-pack of and sip it in the afternoon. It's not going to be something I'm going to go out for because I want something interesting. So
yeah, I think that IPA really kind of gripped you. I mean, just it was interesting as far as your taste buds. I mean, it was complex.
Yep. No, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hey, real quick point of privilege, just to wrap up the show. Tabby from Happy Hour podcast. I'm sorry, it's not Happy Hour anymore. It's Gray's Tap Room.
Right.
And go check them out. Great podcast. You guys should all definitely give Mike and Tabby a listen because they are funny. They're ridiculous, and they also get it. And which are 3 things that Whiskey Hell really admires. But tomorrow, although when this podcast comes out, it'll already be after the fact. So a belated happy birthday to Tabby. Her birthday is tomorrow, and I know they're celebrating tonight. And good for her and good for them. And they're just really good podcast friends. So happy birthday. And, enjoy the weekend.
Happy birthday, Tabby. Thank you to all the friends of the show who chimed in throughout the week, whether you're doing the polls, you're weighing in on our questions, everything. I Had to Say It Pod, Porn Stash, Impossible Pod. There's so many of you guys reach out to us during the week, and it's absolutely fantastic. We appreciate it. It gives us things to think about at the end of the day. That's really what we want everybody to do, is just to think a little bit more. So we really, really, really do appreciate it. That's going to wind things up. You guys want to follow us on Twitter? It is at @whiskey_hell, Whiskey Hell Pod on Instagram. Go to whiskeyhellpod.com for the website. You get all our show notes, everything that we're doing. All the tweets are on there, Instagram's on there, everything is on there. So, but we appreciate you guys listening, and thanks for sticking with us. We get to do some ridiculous shit and talk about some really crazy stuff, and we like that you guys like it. So, I'm Steve McShane.
I'm Fitz.
We'll talk to you soon.